In the California desert, a man found gold. Not in a river, not in a mine, on the surface. Black rocks, heavy, strange. When he broke them open, they were filled with gold. He collected as much as he could carry. Then he left, and when he came back, he couldn't find the place again. For more than a century, people have searched for that same location, walking through heat, sand, and empty valleys, looking for the same black rocks. None of them ever found it. His real name was Thomas L. Smith, but most people knew him as Pegleg Smith. Thomas L. Smith, he was a trapper, a trader, a man who spent most of his life moving through the American West. At some point, he lost part of his leg. After that, he walked with a wooden prosthetic, which is how he got the name Pegleg. Smith was familiar with the desert. He knew how to survive in harsh conditions, how to travel long distances with limited supplies, and how to recognize opportunity. According to his account, he made his discovery somewhere in Southern California, in a remote desert region filled with dry lake beds, rocky hills, endless sand. He described finding black, heavy rocks scattered across the ground, not something you would normally pay attention to. But when he broke them open, they revealed gold inside. Not dust, not small flakes, but rich gold locked inside the rock. He gathered as many as he could carry, and then he left the area, planning to return later. But when he tried to go back, the desert gave him nothing. No landmarks, no clear path, no sign of the place he had found. And just like that, the location was gone. When Thomas L. Smith told others about what he had found, the reaction was immediate. Skepticism, then curiosity, then interest. Because if his story was true, this wasn't just another gold find. This was something different. Gold lying on the surface. Easy to collect. No digging, no mining. Just pick it up. That idea alone was enough to bring people into the desert. The first searchers tried to retrace his route. They asked questions, studied his descriptions, looked for anything that could point them in the right direction. But there was a problem. The desert doesn't work like other places. There are no stable landmarks, no clear trails. The terrain repeats itself. Dry lake beds look the same. Rock formations blend together. Distances are hard to judge. What looks familiar often isn't, and what seems close can be miles away. Some searchers claimed they found similar black rocks. Others believed they had located the exact area. But none could confirm it, and none could return to the same spot twice. The region where the gold was believed to be located lies somewhere in the deserts of Southern California. Colorado Desert. It's one of the most unforgiving environments in North America. Extreme heat, limited water, long distances between any signs of life. But the most important factor is this. The desert changes. Wind reshapes the surface. Sand moves. Dry lakes flood and then disappear again. Tracks vanish. Paths are erased, which means that even if Smith had remembered the general area, that might not have been enough, because the exact location could look completely different by the time he returned. Searchers faced the same problem. They could explore an area one year and find it unrecognizable the next, and without fixed reference points. Navigation becomes guesswork. Still, people kept searching, because the idea was too powerful to ignore. Gold, on the surface, waiting to be found again. Despite the lack of proof, the story of Thomas L. Smith refused to disappear, because parts of it made sense. First, the description of the gold. Black rocks filled with gold are not impossible. They can form in certain geological conditions, where gold is trapped inside dark volcanic or mineral-rich stone. To an experienced frontiersman, something like that would stand out immediately. Second, Smith wasn't known for wild stories. He was a trader, a trapper, a man who had spent years surviving in difficult environments. People who knew him believed he had seen something real, and then there were the reports. Over the years, some searchers claimed they had found similar rocks, heavy, dark, promising, but just like Smith, they couldn't relocate the exact spot again, or they never revealed it, which only added to the mystery. Because if even a small part of the story was true, then somewhere in the desert there had to be more. By the early 20th century, the search had become something unusual. It wasn't just random expeditions anymore. It became a tradition. Every year, groups of people would head into the desert, looking for the same gold. They followed the same general region, the same vague descriptions, the same idea. Some came prepared. Mass, supplies, routes planned in advance. Others came with almost nothing, just the story and belief. They walked across dry lake beds, climbed rocky hills, scanned the ground for anything unusual. Black stones, anything that matched the description. Some thought they were close. Some believed they had found clues. But every year ended the same way. No confirmed discovery. No exact location, no gold. And yet, the next year, they came back. Because in a place where everything looks the same, it's always possible that the one thing you missed was right in front of you. After decades of searching, one thing became clear. No one could prove where the gold was. There were always claims. Someone would say they found the rocks. Another would say they had been in the exact area. Some even insisted they had taken samples. But every time the same problem appeared, no one could take others back to the same place. The desert erased certainty. Searchers tried marking locations, using rocks, using notes, later even maps. But when they returned, nothing matched. The same hills looked different. The same ground seemed unfamiliar. And without a fixed point of reference, even small errors became massive. A few 100 meters off, and you could miss the location completely. Over time, the story began to split into two paths. Some believed the gold was still there, hidden in plain sight. Others believed something else, that the place itself was no longer the same. The desert is not stable. It moves. The region within the Colorado Desert changes constantly. Wind reshapes the land. Sand buries and reveals surfaces. Flash floods cut new paths and erase old ones, which leads to a possibility that many searchers began to consider. What if the location Smith described doesn't exist anymore? Not in the same form, not in the same place. If the gold was located in a dry lake bed, it could now be buried. If it was near a visible formation, that formation could be gone. If it was exposed on the surface, it might now be hidden beneath layers of sand and sediment. Which means the problem isn't just finding the right place. It's finding a place that may no longer look the way it once did. And that makes the search far more difficult, because even if someone walked directly over it today, they might never know. More than a century after Thomas L. Smith told his story, people are still searching. But like other lost gold stories, the methods have changed. Modern searchers don't rely only on memory and guesswork. They use GPS mapping, satellite imagery, geological surveys, metal detectors. Some study historical routes, trying to reconstruct where Smith might have travelled. Others focus on geology, searching for areas where gold-bearing rock could realistically exist. The search is more precise, more technical, more informed, and still, the result is the same. No confirmed location, no verified discovery, no gold field that matches Smith's description. From time to time, someone claims they found something, a rock, a clue, a location. But just like before, None of it holds up. Nothing leads to a confirmed site. So what did Thomas L. Smith actually find? There are a few possibilities. The first is that the gold was real, a unique geological formation, a rare occurrence where gold was visible inside surface rocks. If that's true, then the location may still exist, somewhere in the desert, hidden, overlooked, waiting. The second possibility is more practical. Smith may have found a small deposit, enough to collect some gold, but not large enough to be easily found again. Over time, the story may have grown. Details changed. The scale increased, and what was once a small discovery became a legend. There's also a third possibility, that the location was real, but no longer accessible, buried, covered, changed by the environment, which would explain why no one has ever been able to return to it. Each explanation fits part of the story, but none provide a complete answer. The Pegleg Smith gold remains one of the most frustrating lost treasure stories, because it feels close, not hidden in deep ocean, not locked behind a code, just somewhere in the open desert. And yet, no one has found it. More than 150 years have passed. Thousands of people have searched. Some returned, some gave up, and some believed they were just one step away. But the result never changed. No confirmed discovery, no verified location, only the story. And the idea that somewhere, in a place that looks like every other place, there may still be gold, waiting. So here's the question. If you were standing in that desert today, looking at miles of identical land, would you believe the gold is still there, or that it was lost the moment Smith walked away and couldn't find it again?